Good morning, everybody.
Morning, morning, morning. Not sure how many people are attending. It's probably fairly quiet for the next couple of days, but we shall see. I say we're open till Wednesday. I'll be on duty when the markets are open in the meantime. Yeah, if any signals come out after markets, after our trading closes, I'll be posting them as per normal. Yeah, but it's going to be fairly quiet, I think, from Thursday onwards, just so you know. I think I might even be taking a bit of time off on the Friday, going into the quiet time anyway before. Maybe on in the morning or something on Friday, just in case anyone wants the markets open to, you know, look at a trade. Be probably pretty quiet anyway. Call it thin trading because a lot of guys now have left to go on their holidays. So the markets are open, but what happens? You get less traders at their desk internationally. Some of you guys might be on holiday now with your laptop hand in your head. Yeah. Well, I'm dog sitting at the moment. Well, not literally, no. Otherwise, it'd be hell for animal cruelty. Just give a few more seconds and we start. Okay, I can start. Okay, those on my WhatsApp read the morning updates. Quite interesting that a lot of people are surprised at the hawkish stance of the ECB, Lagarde and the ECB. How about you guys? I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, quite clear to see that if you're in the business, that they've got similar problems to just about everywhere else. You know, over borrowing, inflation, etc. Due to COVID, they had very low interest rates. So I wasn't surprised. That's what I expected. Just little. I was surprised that the institutions were surprised. And anyway, so the little guys in the TR got that right because it was hawkish. But anyway, that's so. Yeah, I was a bit surprised at that. Dollar's a bit iffy again. Just a quick read what's going on. Dollar's a bit iffy. It's holding about 104, but it's a bit range trading. I think again, lots to do with thin volumes going into the new year. So it's probably a little bit sideways. A couple of things coming this week. Don't think there's a heck of a lot today on the economic front. Just quickly check. Let's have a look. Sorry, all the chat lines getting there. I can't see it. Just give me a moment. I'm the screen cluttered with all the chat lines and that. Nothing much on Monday. In fact, sold all today by the look of it. A little bit coming out during the week, but it's nothing particularly major. GDP's coming out on 3:30 on Thursday, and initial jobless claims pretty quiet after that. So expect a bit of thinner trading, nothing major on that one at all. Okay, so it might have at least lack of limited interference. That's the main thing. Just so you know. Okay, just a couple of trades I came up with this morning. I don't think it's been sent out. Management are going to send it out to the MT5 mailbox. So I don't know if you received it yet, but those on my group will have already received them, so they've checked them out. And anyone in the trading room on that group probably wouldn't have gone in blind. They've checked it out, see if they like it or not. They will start off with this one because I got it on the screen at the moment. I think it's 200 seems to be holding. Bit of a range trade, but I think it's the bottom of the range, and I saw upside. So those not in the group, I haven't seen the MT5 trade idea, trading idea being sent. Put it up, the risk calculator. This is what I've got down, just my figures here. Enter around about what I've got 135 or better. 136 or better. So it's slightly better now, a couple of pips of much difference. We've got a stop 135 on the nail and a 137.80 as my TP. There we are. Risk rewards all right. They are. The signal's about 130 Rand, or about $7.5 per micro. Slightly better. It's about 2-3 pips cheaper. Remember, I always say buy at so and so or better, which is clearly better. So don't for goodness sake even think of it if you wanted to buy stock, go in a market, you're getting a better price. Yeah, there you are. If you like it, there you are. Okay. Anyway, you're a step ahead because I just before the trading room, I just sent them out anyway. Just remember, most of them will be my ideas, and I have to okay them anyway before they send it out because I'm qualified. So yeah, so at least you're getting from the horse's mouth. So, right, I've got it written down because I've said that anyway, but anybody in the trading room like or dislike this? Anyone going to go for it? Do this one, I've got one more after this, then we'll go to trades we've already got out. Just want to do these two first, see if we can get a better price before we miss the boat if it goes right. So, anybody like it? Finally likes it, good man. Well, if you've been shorting it, I completely understand you, Mr. Watts, being scared. I certainly would be scared if I was shorting it. Yeah. I don't blame you at all. Okay, well, there we are. That's not a problem, experienced trader. That's the whole idea I'm trying to encourage. Agree to disagree, that's fine. We're not going to throw stones at you because you voted for Republican instead of Democrat or Democrat instead of Republican. No, this is supposed to be what we have is a bit of freedom of ideas. And no, that's fine. So if you're correct, well done. Well, not well done because I'm not on your side with that one, but you know what I mean. Okay, so you went in. So we got a couple of people, that's fine. So if you went in there, the figures, give yourself a moment to grab them. It's anyway, we can move on now to the next one because it's clearly, as you just mentioned, thank you for updating me there, Jethro, on the group MT5. So all the details are there. That's the whole point. You come to trading. This is it. That's why I like people can make it here because they think. They don't just blindly follow it. And that's what I'm trying to get away with. Those who are in the army, which to be honest, I never have, they say jump out the window. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags, full, sir. How far I'm going? Well, we're not in the army now, so you're going to ask why jump out the window. Okay. And I'm going to answer because I'm your general. I don't like your ugly mush. Get out the window. Just joking, but So I couldn't, this was a silly comment, but yeah. Yeah, so if you don't like, wait for a better price, that's your thinking, that's your choice. But there we are, we got it out. Let's see how it works out. The other one was the CHF JPY. That was an entry at 145.90. So it's slightly higher as we speak. Is it chaseable? I think it should still be chaseable. 145, well, that's 145.14 actually. Forget the last point. 0.14 and 137.80. Yes, that still corresponds. Why is that wrong? Right. 145. I'm reaching a minute. I'm trying to do this. 145.14 and 137.80. Why is it not coming out? Because it's wrong. No wonder. 147.25. Sorry, that's why. Just going to mute you guys. Okay, there we mute you. This is your problem now. And you see, I don't want to put the TP any higher. You can if you want to chase it, dip below there. So those are in. Anybody get in there on time? Okay, because I've got 145.90 or better. Well, clearly this is not better because it's higher. Which again, I think up to 10 pips normally not a problem to chase it. I just don't like that risk reward. Unless you want to put the stop up a little bit higher, that is, you're free to do that if you want to chase it, or maybe get a better price. That is up to you. So you guys don't want to chase this level, or you don't want to chase at all. I presume you mean don't chase this level, you want a better price, or you might say I'm leaving it. But Cooni's in. I've got it down to trade idea. We'll see how they work out anyway. But I think that's your problem. Otherwise, I'd say chase it. If you can get back above there, a slightly better price. Get in slightly closer to the 145.90 area. You might just get in. So just be a bit patient. You might get a better price to buy if you like. If you don't like it, great. And if you disagree and you want to short it, it's your money. You got the risk. You know what you're doing. Well, I might know what you're doing, but I mean, that's your free choice. But I see some upside there, and well, clearly, and yeah, so it's just point above there. So if you're not in and you want to chase it now, you probably squeeze it. Okay. Well, you could do, but it's up to you. If you want to do it, you can do it with pleasure. I'm going to stick it with that at the moment, but there's no reason why you can't put it there. Then you'll definitely get a phenomenal risk reward. If you want to do that, absolutely. But you know what you're doing, Jethro. You can play around as many you like. It's just to help guys being on the same page in the room here. What have I got it down? 20. What have I got it down for? Stop loss 145.40. Yes, there it is. And I want this TP on this one 147.25. Slightly above there. Right about there, I'll do. Right about 25 anyway. Yeah. But if you want to put a different stop TP, well, of course you can. This is just a trade room. So when I refer back, I refer back to what we've got down here, what I've done basically. But don't dare make the stop side of that. I agree with entirely on that one. No, I disagree with you, Jethro. It says here Roger smarter than me. No, that's completely not true. Roger is a lot smarter than you, Jethro. A lot. That's a very important little adjective you need to put in. No, I don't know about that on a serious note. Yeah, you've got it right a couple of times. I haven't. Blah blah blah. So, but no harm having a bit of a joke. I think we'll up to a little bit of a bit of banter, shall we say? A bit of trading banter. Okay. Yeah. Well, seems to be trying to climb. So if you're in, great. Again, it's gone below 1.5. So you've got to be on the button there. Remember, if you want to grab the better price, you go into it. You've worked out your risk reward. It's on a 004. Sorry. 001, not 007. Okay, beg your pardon. You worked out anyway. and then you can put the stop loss and TP in afterwards. You don't want to be chasing and missing the boat because you're sitting around putting SL in. Yeah, put in after you've entered if you like it. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. General, I said. Yes, sir, he said. Be arrogant, never. So I'm told I'm actually a very modest man. Oh, right, okay. All right, fair enough. Understand that, Henry. Yeah, okay, hope we come right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I even went up to Cyril the other day. I said, how's it, Cyril? He says, hello, my senior trading mentor. Yeah, very important, me. Right, obviously doesn't apply to ESCOM or whatever the other areas, but let's move on to nonsense. Yeah, so you got those two. Let's do a bit of going over what we've already got out. Okay, let's see, gold. A lot of people got a bit worried about the gold one. It didn't do too badly in the end. Got it at 1782. It's already $10 in profit at one stage. It was up to 1796. Where's our TP? 1806. Whether it gets there or not, I'm not that worried. Gold's not doing too badly. Whatever you do, don't leave your stop loss at 1771. I would say because it's a bit iffy. A lot of things is in trading a bit iffy, to be honest. So I would get your stop up to I think maybe about 1788. There you are. So you got a nice little profit there of about $6 odd. And it's $4 behind. If it moves up a bit, great. If it doesn't, you stopped out, you made a profit. Let's make this a winning trade. Okay. Well, oh, Eugene, yeah. Oh, I'm glad to hear, Eugene, because you had your doubts, Mr. Fun Skullfin, didn't you? What about this gold? Stick it out, I said. So you came right. I hope you meant it with a fat finger. You came right, not fat finger exiting the loss. I hope you came right with it. I hope I did means you exiting the loss. Or if you're still in, even better. Might get a bit more out of it. Fantastic. I wouldn't be crowing if I was wrong. I'd be trying to avoid the subject. No, but okay, so I'm glad you came right. I'm a bit worried about it when we last spoke on Friday. It went up to 996 in the end. So when you said the fat figure went into big by mistake, that actually looks like it might turn out a pleasure for you. But don't join it now. Just modify your stop. If you're still in, protect. So you make a win if it goes up. Any further, you make a bigger win. It's a nice choice to have in your hands. Okay, I don't know how many people did the dollar rand. Some people I know did, so I'll bring it up. We got in at around about the 1730 odd mark. Some guys got a little bit higher, I'm not sure. But if you got slightly higher or not, you did okay, because clearly nobody got in at 1760. So it's having some problems getting through the 50-day. Even the dollar hovers around here. I think it's going to do that because, as I say, ratings got their eye on us for another move down into further junk. We know we haven't got away the Cyril impeachment thing, but probably will do in the end. But the major problem, of course, is the level 6 going to level 5 of the ESCOM fiasco, which is not just all the money being lost, is the total lack of faith in the way the country is being run. We just had the NASDAQ going forward with the ANC talk about who's going to go through, who's going to go out, and blah, blah, blah. But that's internal stuff. But I think most people, I'll be honest, most fairly educated people, shall we say, are not that enamored with the 20-year performance of the ANC since the 25 years since the freedom came in. Now, and it's just been escalation of issues rather than solving of issues. So I think it's a bit slow to react. The dollar's been a bit iffy, but I think a little bit thin trading over the weekend, etc. Quite frankly, a lot of denial out there. I mean, some guys will scream, "Oh no, you lend the country now and you vote somewhere else or don't vote for them or whatever." A lot of emotion around the fact that I try to sort of, not total facts, not aware of all of them, but I think you don't have to be aware of all of them to realise it's the situation as regard competence and running is not going to go down in history as one of the best the world has ever seen, if you see me trying to put it rather delicately. And when you don't have an energy supply, which clearly oil and electricity are those two energy supplies. And we're talking electricity particularly now, and even problems with the water, which is life-threatening. You can survive without electricity, but not without water. Getting from bad to worse. Well, it's viewed upon people who make an investment as a negative. I mean, you might like the country, but would you invest if you saw that kind of track record? Well, if you did your due diligence, you clearly wouldn't. So I think it's a very good chance it's going to be taken out for higher. So if you did, coming back to the practical aspect, take it in, make sure you move the stop up to maybe cover your costs so you're in profit. And if you want to take the profit, you can, but I think there's a chance you might get a breakthrough. Sorry if it comes back, stops you out. You won't lose on the trade, but you throw away the profit. You're sitting comfy in the moment. It's up to you. But I think there's quite a good chance there's going to be some more weakening. The fundamentals point to it. Denel, what's the other one? Transnet. I mean, there's not a one SOE there. This doesn't seem to be doing very well. Even telecom's not doing well. And that's the one nationalized industry worldwide is the telephone industry, which usually does okay. Or mind you, things have changed. It's now all on the cell phones now. But the point is, not that maybe you come across one or two, but there's horrific examples in the hospitals where guys are lying on the floor, not enough beds, medicine being stolen, not enough medicine. It is just a horse, basically. It'd be funny, it'd be faulty tires and their music if you were involved with it. It's just so incredibly bad. But yeah, it's trying to break through. Let's see if we can do it this time. I do see some upside there. Want to do that next, actually. Okay, that was the next on my list. So we'll do it now. I mentioned the hawkish stance, which we all agreed on, but I'm not sure that is going to continue. I think the hawkish stance will continue, but I think the dollar hawkish stance is going to continue. I think this had a decent run, the euro, and I think it's going to come to a bit of an end now. It went straight up, not straight up, it went up to 107 plus, which is bloody a lot compared, it wasn't even parity a month or so ago. It's come off a bit, had another bash of this holding, resistance here. On the technical side, I think that resistance is going to hold, and I think you might get a bit of a pullback. Whether we get enough to make it worth our while, maybe put the stop there, maybe a stop there, 70 pips stop. We don't want to get too cute with it. That's 90. Don't get too cute. Maybe take it down to here. We get a risk reward. You might say, I'm going to wait to break the 10-day moving average, but that's not as significant as these two here. Remember that. But you want to say, I'll make it half now and half later, or I might see another bounce upward. This is stock sellers coming in. I personally like the more downside from here. It is slightly on the aggressive side. I get you, but I think there's possibly some downside. Let's go and check them all. The weekly. Yeah, now the weekly, how far is it down to here if it comes off? Yeah, there's just maybe just scratch enough downside to make it worthwhile. We'll see if you can. It's holding on the weekly. Let's check the 4-hour. Similar story there. Yeah, well, it's only 50 pips. You might get a bit of a problem there. Yeah, there's a couple of obstacles there. It's not an ideal trade, but I'm not too sure at this stage I'm going to see too much more upside. I think it might be a little bit of downside, and I think it might be a bit of a pullback. Why, you expecting upside there, Jethro? I'm not going to cigarette here. Don't tell anybody. Just touch it. You're not sure. Anybody see an aggressive trade for the downside? Okay, we've got Kaoni looks a buy. Kuda looks a buy, and one's a leave it alone. Bit too aggressive, hey? Yeah, I think it could put a bit of a pullback. I'm not just saying there is because a little bit on the technical side, but a lot of it I think it's just been overcooked. The dollar's it's not the strongest at the moment, but I think it's got more potential as a safe haven for the currency than the euro. It's had its run the last few days, August stance. I think might be some profit taking, and I think there might be some dollar push up. I'm leaning towards the downside, but I'm saying it's aggressive trade. Just want to remind everyone what Jethro just said there. Euro has got the smallest costs in all brokers because it's enormous in liquidity. It dwarfs in liquidity, trading, volume, everything else in the world just about. There's no other instrument comes anywhere close. So it's low cost, yeah. About 1.5 pips, so you haven't got to worry about that. You can always say, right, I'll get 50 pips and I'm out. It's not a problem. But I think it could pull back. Whether it pulls back to here, it's a good chance at 50 pips. The problem is you won't get a risk reward there because I don't like, it's up to you, but I don't like 25, 30 pip stops. It's a bit close. But if you want to take almost a scalping, very tight stop, maybe even that's not going to work above there, which you need to do. So whether you do it or not, but I think there's a good chance of pulling back a bit from here. I tell you what might be an idea, if we can get a bit more upside. There's a bit of a problem here, that 1 hour. That's a bit of a problem I've just noticed now. Maybe get a slightly better one. Maybe you can get it up to near 107 for a shot down. We'll see. But maybe it's a bit too aggressive. Maybe leave it. Okay. If you're not happy, leave that. So leave it. When in doubt, stay out. Well, like it to buy it, you mean, or to sell it, Jethro? Sell it, yeah. Well, clearly on that side of it. But I'm sticking I've looked at it a couple of times now, and I'm leaning on it's aggressive, but my odds in favor down. It's not much. Well, not I call a 70% trade. I'm calling it about a 60% trade. So if you do like it, don't overdo it, and you can grab some on the aggressive side. I'll never say I'm 98% convinced on anything, and that really clarified when the when the load shedding went to level 6, and then even though the dollar did weaken, I'll give you a due, then suddenly the rand strengthened. Anything can happen out there. And the major reason that is, guys, is because a very large percentage now of trades are done by the retail market. That's you and I, the non-institutional stuff. And there's an enormous amount of percentage of that, of those guys are trading, don't want to be disrespectful here, not that much knowledge or idea, basically. And they're trading on emotion. And when emotion comes in, they often do some, shall we say, irrational trades to the more experienced guys. You sometimes get some funny trades. Oh, I see a bit of a red here, I'll sell it, sort of strategy. Or a green, oh, I'll buy it now, or I'll change my mind, or whatever. So that it wasn't a factor 4 or 5 years ago, but it's become an increasing factor lately. A lot of guys are coming on board with this because everyone's got a laptop now. We've all got this fancy technology. It's a lot easier to come on board now. There's Mycos, which you didn't have so many of them in the past. It's just made it a lot easier for the man in the street to start getting involved with this. So that's why the incredible increase of the volumes of people doing it. But unfortunately, quite a large increase in volumes of irrationality. You'd be staggered how many people we have as clients who haven't even been to any of the classes, not platform class, not CFD class, or whatever, and then off they go and do a bit of trading. In fact, some haven't even bought a course. Some bought a course, not looked at. Some bought a course and have not bought a course and having a bash because their mate around the corner said it's not a bad idea. So you're getting a lot of irrationality out there. I always thought XD meant ex-dividend, so now we know. Okay, so I hope that sort of cleared that one up a little bit. Okay, well, it's come off a bit now, so yeah. Well, if you're not in, leave it alone now. It's getting too aggressive. You're not going to risk reward of any sort now, so leave it. If you did take it, at least you're up a bit. Good. Right, Gola said leave. I'll just get a quick check on the indices. I'll go to the NASDAQ because that seems to be liked by a lot. No weekly snippet next week, and if you guys ever look at it. but it's posted on Instagram, Facebook, and I often update it on my, when it's released, all fancy letter. I send it off and they put some fancy logos with it, and then I often post on the QT websites, but not websites, WhatsApp groups. I'll do after 11 o'clock if it's sent to me by then. Having said that, I did mention the rally, solar rally hasn't changed my outlook on that. And it broke through the, I said sell 12, 11.5, breaks through, sell again. Some guys had sold again at 11.5, 200 pips stop, maybe about 11. 10.8, I think is the next target. And then that's, I think, 61.8% Fibonacci going back from COVID days. And the fact retraced to there. Oh, no, hang on. I can't remember now. But anyway, we'll see. But sell the rally as well. There might be all sorts of nice, popular, exciting, positive talk about, oh, this could save that and that could save the other. We can get another chance here, etc. Until this massive debt is sorted out worldwide, I still see we've got quite a few issues ahead of us. Okay, can you close the door when you got a moment there, please, Petronellis? Jenny's causing a bit of a background noise. Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, now sell the rally. I wouldn't join it now. If it gets back up this sort of level here, near that area there, maybe sell it down again. If you got the money for it, remember, don't go in if you haven't got the money. Explain that many times. As explained, I just want to do again the economic calendar. I try and make a habit of doing it. Some guys don't have it, so I put it on every single session. I don't want anybody who attends a trade room not to have it because it's that important. I filtered it, but you can refilter it for some stuff on there. It's not you want on there. I put the DXY as well. That's a dollar index. We often refer to it, so I'll put that on as well. Oh yes, S&P 500. We got it at 4051, and it's close to target 38. If anybody's still in there, I hope you modify your stop to make sure you're not going to lose on that trade, and see if we can get the 38. I don't know if anyone's still in there, but if you are, you'll be a nice nearly 200 pip profit. So you should be smiling. Oh, you're still in, John. Good man. I think it was your idea, actually. You're out. But I won't join again now, Farney. You're still in there, John. Great. Hold it. Looks like it could get the target. It brushed it on Friday, actually. Just needed 20 pips more, hits the TP. Let's see. But anyway, make sure in a profit. So don't, for goodness sake, take a loss in it now. That's now a winning trade. A pivot point. If we get a quiet moment, with trade, which you probably certainly will the next couple of days. We don't expect to be loads of trades coming out. We'll do what we can, but it might be a bit quiet. I'll explain what a pivot point is, because I think a lot of people are mentioning it without fully understanding what they are. Retracement is, well, when it retraces. So if you're going long, sell the, buy the retracement. If you're going short, sell the rally sort of thing. A pivot point, you can get them quite easy on investing.com. We'll have a look at it and we'll get a quiet moment. So some guys I know it might start yawning, get irritated. But if we're not in any new trades, that comes first. We can review it a lot. You might find it quite useful. So basically, short term areas of support resistance. Been waiting, and I'm quite frightened. Glad I waited. Glad I've been waiting, because every time I thought it might get a bounce, it hasn't happened. Aha, I see what you're talking about, Minero Watts. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Don't even have to have a tight stop. Don't even have to have a tight stop. We'll spot it. That's why I need you guys. I need you. Even Jethro is clearly much more clever than what I is. Probably better in English after that as well. Don't get too close to stop. Make it just below. Make it 88. Make it 98, 90. That's too. Ooh, TP right up there, eh? 100.80. So no, what there's some more on this one. No problem, there is a reward. If you want a tighter stop or a wider stop, up to you. Might be a bit tight for you guys. It is below the round figure. Make it a little bit tighter. Make it 98.90, 98.80. Might just pop its way through the round figure and then stop you out and move up, then you can be highly pissed off. So that's probably slightly better. Plenty of risk reward. Rather take a 90 buck a micro. I like it. Well spotted. And buy ya. I like it. I like it so much. I'm just going to post the guys out there. Save the picture. Might put it on the WhatsApp group if we all like it. So as you put out there, post it. It's not just me saying it. It's I'm getting major support from my group. That's usually a killer. Just give me a second. Let's see what comes back on that one. Don't jinx it. You're quite bloody right there, mate. You're quite right there. Don't jinx somebody. I'm a great believer in the commentator's curse. Big time. CADJPY. Anybody like it? Quite a few. Good. I've got support there because I've taken the trouble to write it down on the off chance you would. What's it called? 90 bucks? What's 90 bucks in dollars? It's about $5.50, eh? $5.5 per micro. There we are. See how that goes. I'll put Jethro because he spotted it. So you can, or make it comes right. We'll make a nice collection for his Christmas New Year box. Okay. I believe he's getting married soon, and he'll need all the money he needs for that. Probably already married. I'm only joking, Jethro. Probably already are married. I don't know. Just teasing. A nice bottle of wine, okay. Hope it's a good South African wine. Not that foreign muck. Hey, a lot of people like it. Let's see how that goes. Great. Just give you a few more moments so no one take it. I've got it written down just to go back if you need. I was going to say, I tell you two things you get lynched for in Cape Town. You drink foreign wine and you say prefer Joburg to Cape Town. Or if you say you don't live in the southern suburbs. Last time I stayed in Cape Town, I stayed in, what's it called? What else was it good? Goodwood. Southern suburbs socializing. Just looked at me as I was swearing. Okay, so you all got that. Right, Chef JPY, is it coming right? Yeah. The problem with that is, of course, is getting overcrowded down there. I mean, that used to be a place where you can get from A to B without any problems. And that's on getting on big bloody traffic jam. Should have kept it a secret, my friend. Always reminds me of Saint-Tropez. I'm going off bloody subject bit here. So remember Brigitte Bardot? Yeah, Brigitte Bardot. Yeah, maybe a bit young for, I don't know. And then she put Saint-Tropez on the map because she moved there. And then everyone else started moving there. So she and the cool crowd all moved out. I think it went to Joan Lapin or something like that. Anyway. Yeah. But anyway, whatever. Price of money property there is a bit hectic as well. It's a bit of a shock to the system, eh? CHF JP1, 145.90. It's in profits. You can't chase it now. So if you didn't get the Swissy against the Japanese, a bit late now. Trying to break above. You missed that one. Seems to be in the right direction. And let's have a look at the other one. Anything happening on this one? Yeah, it is, but not what we want. But it might still hold, so I'm not going to panic as yet. NZD CAD for a sell. I think we had that. No, it was NZD CHF, and that was a loss we took. That didn't work out at all. NZD CAD. It's a bit of a range trade. What's the range? It's only 50 pips. A bit wary of it. Oil's looking a little bit iffy at the moment as well. We did okay on the oil trade. We did pretty well in the end. It's come off a bit, so most guys might have been stopped out at profit. Oh, I think I actually hit TP, didn't 80, if I remember. And somebody held on to 83, hit the 83, I think, and then came off. So wouldn't be joining now. It's come off a bit. I'm a bit iffy on that one, to be honest. I thought the better deal was NZD CHF, and it didn't work out. So I'm less inclined towards this one as a short. And to take it, anyway, it's going to work. You've got to take it down to something to make it worthwhile. And is that on the cards? Seem to be holding for the last nearly week and a half. Yes, it did. Yeah, it did. Oh, one guy actually modified it, Mr. Luke, remember? He modified from 80 to 83. I think he nearly got there. Anyway, you got out of profit anyway, whatever. But I wouldn't be jumping in this now. Anyway, then he got the TP. Thanks anyway. Right, what are we doing here? Just going to check. All good. So you're going to have to excuse me a second as I post this trade. You look at the US dollar CAD in the meantime. Wait, and make your mind up whether you like it. If you want to take it through it there, you want the floor, I'll unmute you. If you want to, I'll just unmute you guys. If you want to explain to it what's happening, I've got to get this trade out. Won't be long, nearly did it. Okay. Okay, US dollar CAD. Yeah, US dollar CAD. Technically speaking, that looks like a buy, but I'm on support now. A little bit is holding. Let's look at the weekly. At least that came in there on the weekly to the buyers. In fact, the daily. What about the 4 hour? It's like the bottom of the range. A few buyers are coming in to defend it. And then on the hour, that's been defended on the hour. So it's looking okay-ish. Not all that excited about it, I'll be honest. Where can we take to? 40 pips. You've got to take it there. 90 pips. How far down below this guy here? You can probably squeeze it. It's not exactly blowing my hair back. Not yippee on this one, but from a range potential, it's maybe a bit of upside. It's a bit aggressive to me, but it's possible if you want. Dav will be sent out to the group, but maybe a trader idea, maybe look at for aggressive folk. See, we'll have a look at calculator, see what you guys think. Maybe 1.36. And TP, take it up to here. 1.3740. Make it 1.3740. Maybe a smidge higher. There we go. Slightly better. $70 a micro. Okay-ish. No, not over keen myself, to be honest, but I'm leaning towards upside and for the range trade. It's come back down, as you can see. It's been supported technically. So, yeah, it's okay. If you're not keen, fair enough. If you're aggressive, you want to have a bash, that's up to you. Nobody keen? Leave it, move on. Said one of my regulars calling up on the WhatsApp, can't make the trading room. He wants to leave alone, okay. Wants to look at Euro JPY as a long. That's your problem there. I think I prefer to see a break. I personally, that was being a bit too aggressive. I prefer to see a break here. I go for the long. I'm not shorting. I agree on that. I think a little bit of a confirmed break above 145. I'd be more comfortable. Then you can take it up here, plenty of upside, and a stop down here somewhere. Yeah, you'll definitely get a risk reward, no problem there. think rather wait for a break. Personally, anyway, that's my reply to the gentleman who asked the question. Bit over aggressive. Yeah, resist on the 4 hour as well. Yeah, need to go into all these areas. What about the weekly before you jump in? Yeah, resistance on that. What about the hourly? Not quite through on the hourly to confirm. Yeah, it needs a confirmation about there. Look, sellers came in defending it. It's just too many ifs and buts on that one. Not keen. You can, but you're pushing an expectation it's going to break through on the 4 on the day. I'd rather that confirmation. Someone's watching the YouTube wants to look at GBP-CHF. GBP-CHF. Think she's already in. So she's got enough turn. I think some downside here, to be honest. Okay. I personally think some downside. I know we didn't do too well last time, but I think it's a good chance to do a bit better this time. Anyway, if you want to look at it, we can. Well, this one here seems to be holding there. Where's the 200 up here? It's still in the sell zone. I still think the pound's very iffy. I still see the Swiss franc as a more stronger currency of the two, and more stable of the two. The pound, like euro in America, far from out. Oh, something else. Yes, I posted this morning on the WhatsApp group. Whereas I'm on that, is Japan are starting to look. They might have to get away from their dovish stance and maybe go hawkish. Remember, I mentioned they probably want to go hawkish originally, but they're so indebted. Their GDP debt ratio is about the highest in the world. They didn't want to go increase interest rates because of increased interest they pay on their massive debts. So try to export out of it. And it's not happening quite as much as they would like. And still iffy oil prices with they import the oil. So they might have to say, sod it. They might have to start increasing interest rates ever. They're not done it yet, but they're talking of it, which is a slight change of their overall stance. So that has to be borne in mind as well. But having said that, coming back to this one, I think that's going to hold. I'm backing the Swiss against that. So I'm rather selling the pound and buying the Swiss franc. That's the way I see it. That's the horse I'm backing, is the Swiss franc against these two in this 2-horse race. It seems to be holding there. I think maybe on a confirmation break, I think there's a good chance for a pullback on that one. But if you think after being not last time or want a bit more confirmation, I wouldn't blame you at all. But I do see some downside there. Okay. And GBP JPY for long. Did somebody mention that at all? Was it? No, it was a euro, wasn't it? GBP JPY for long. No, I'm not keen. Right in the middle of halfway land. I'm going to give a straight answer to that one. Not for me. Okay, going back to GBP CHF. Does everyone see where I'm coming from? A bit of downside there, the reasons I gave. Remember that this is up there, so it's still trying to battle to stay out of the sell zone. It hasn't opened the candle into the neutral, it's still in the sell zone. And I say I back that one. I think that's going to probably hold, and I think we could get some downside. No problem with stop loss, not too far away. TP down there, certainly get a TP worth doing. Yeah, I see some downside on that one. If you're not too keen, I hear you. 4 hour, that's holding on the 4 hour. See, one earning extra on there, sideways to slightly down, and holding on the down. Remember, apply to all of them. There you are, the down on the 1 hour. And what about the weekly? Again, all week on the weekly. Week on the weekly. Gone up to test this support area there. Support if you're looking for a short. Bit indecisive, but it's holding. I think even if we didn't do too well last time, I think my opportunity to do better this time. Okay. Risk reward. Make 80 pips. 1.1430. Has also defended there by the 1.14 round figure, and take it down to how far? Take down. Don't take it all the way down there, do we? Just get this out of the way. Take it down to there. That's not going to work. Just got to take it a bit further down. Hey, take it back there. Yeah, 1.25, 1.1254. Clear, that's not going to work. Catch, have to take it further down. Don't even feel the stop, so do that a little bit further down. Well, feel I'm cheating, put it there, that'll do it. To give a nice protection, I've got a pretty wide stop on this. You want a tighter stop, fair enough. Chicken, no problem. Great. To the top, yep, it has. Well, we got 1806 TP anyway. So if you're still in it, don't chase it now, Kuda. I'm talking about those who are in it already. Maybe modify your stop a bit more. I think it's at 1788. Maybe you put it 1792. So now you got about a $10 profit in it, and another maybe it'll get to 1806. Might get a bit of noise around 1800, but it's still progressing. So that didn't, I don't know if you're still in the Eugene. If you are, goodies, nice. And you smiling further. Good. Yeah, move your stop loss, protects you, make sure you got a profit on it. Do you want to give this a miss, or do you like it? Just go through again. 4 hour, it's holding. 1 hour, it's holding, and I'm backing the Swissy over the pound. You've done it, good man. If you're still in, good. Right, so anyone want to go and do the one on this one? To be honest, I quite like it, even though we didn't do too well last time. But I need a bit of support. I'm not going to send it out to the group if you don't like it. You're my backup, guys. Shared responsibility. We lost to this one. That's the only one we really lost on, actually, the last couple of days or so. So maybe we can get back this as a winner. What do you think? You want to leave it alone? Anybody? Anybody like it? Jethro is leaving it alone. Mike, I've shown the RR. Do you want to join it? Anyone? If he does, anybody else want to join it, or should we leave it? Give you a few moments. I'm indecision intolerant. Looks like there are more LIAs than anything else. Eugene likes it. Okay. Mike said you like it, so let's see if we can do this one. Just a second, let me write it down. GBP CHF cell 1.1347, 1.1430, 1.1198. If you make it 1.191200. 1.1200, that's ridiculous, that. It's better. Okay. And that's what, 156. What's that in dollars? 18 is $10, isn't it? So that's $10, isn't it? Yeah. See if that's light. What's happening here? Give me a moment, guys, sorry. So far, since trading, not much happening, not doing too bad, eh? Yeah, we did. Have I got that written down? Yes, I have. Okay, GBP, sorry, dollar rand. It's come off a bit. Okay, well, you should have moved your stop up. Surprised come off, I thought to take it out, but seriously, that seemed to have held. Probably more technical in sense, because this rand's looking pretty iffy. But anyway, yeah, we've done it. I wouldn't be chasing it now. That's the guy's already in. You should have moved your stop up. Maybe stopped out. I don't know where you put your stop, but as long as you got your stop into a profit, you're still in hold. If you're knocked out in a tight stop and profit, so be it. At least you're banked to profit. So winning trade, whatever happens. My point is, don't join it now. I would consider joining it if it came back down to maybe 1730-ish again, and then we can make to look to buy it. Even better than that, we'll have to check it out maybe this afternoon or tomorrow, simply if that happens. But if you're in, whatever you do, make sure you do not lose on that trade by getting a stop into a profitable situation. And if you're stopped out because you put it a little bit higher than where it is at the moment, you made a profit, never mind. What a pleasure. Wait for a better entry if you want to do it again. Yeah, I think that's clear enough. I hope that's all clear anyway. So winning trade, but don't get too cute to jump at it yet. Could come back a bit further. A bit surprised, I thought it might break through this time, but clearly not. What's the dollar doing? That might be the problem. Yeah, dollar's come off a bit. Don't quite know why. It's come off a bit. 104.20, that might have helped a little bit down. But anyway, it's not all the dollar, it's because it rand as well being weak. A bit more further down, we'll look at the buy. Just have a look later on. Okay, I hope that's all clear. I just want to look at our Microsoft. It's pretty close to TP. Don't know who took the Microsoft one, but 262. 240 is our TP. Nearly got the I think it keeps happening. Came within $4 of our TP. What a pleasure. Anyway, I hope you can't do it now, but just mentioning, for goodness sake, make sure you should all have your trading room guys should have the knowledge now to make sure on the close on Friday, you should have had your TP and a nice little profit. Your stop loss, a nice profit, whatever happens. That's $16 per share in profit. What a pleasure. Nice one. Okay. Even Baba came off a bit, and that's another trade we got. Now we're on that subject, 92-ish, around about that level, and that's also nearly $5 or so in profits. Okay. Did you take the Apple one? I don't think you've got it written down. If you did, okay, that did well as well. Don't know if we did that. I haven't got it written down. I don't know why. Should have done it. We didn't. We did. I don't. Doesn't really matter. If you're in it, you're in it. Obviously, can't do much about it now. Might have a bit of a bounce there. Might break through. I don't know. We'll see. But you're in profit, whatever happens. You know the rule. Make sure a profit stays a profit. Number one. Okay, Jethro. Okay, hope to see you next time, afternoon or tomorrow when we get you. You're invaluable asset to the trading room. You're a senior trading marine. We need you. Well, I need you anyway. Cheers. Okay. Right. Probably the yen's not doing too well. The dollar's slightly come off. That's not doing too badly. Still okay. It's not great, but it's still okay. Bounce a little bit, so that might come right. CHF JPY. We got it at 90. That is now doing beautifully. So those are taking it, doing nicely. We can even maybe consider moving the stop, depending on what you got in. You should have got in at around about the 145.90, a smidgen above that maybe. So it's 35 pips in profit. Tell you what, we'll hang 5. It's got a bit of resistance here. We'll leave it for the moment. We'll come back to it. And if it's broken up here, we can move the stop already this session. If it doesn't break through this session and it happens during the afternoon before 4 o'clock, don't forget, if it starts taking out 146.35.40, get your stop up to entry, around about the 145.90.95 area. Okay, so you at least you're protecting yourself. We know the story. Shouldn't have to remind you, but sometimes we forget it. It breaks my heart to see a winner turn to a loser unnecessarily. If it suddenly screamed down now and stops you, that's a different ball game. But it shouldn't if it's been a gradual move. Okay. You take the trouble to come here, might as well make use of it. A lot of guys don't do that. Well, that's their problem. They know about this. They continue to remind you if they can't do it, they can't. Okay, so not too bad. Anything happened with CAD JPY? Leave the bread alone, it's come off there. CAD JPY. Yes, that's going in the right direction. We're up nearly 10 pips. Well, call it 10 pips. We're up 10 pips or so. That's going okay. So the yen's hovering around about entry-ish mark. This one's in profit, and CHF is nicely in profit. So it's not a bad start for the day. Just see how we get any feedback on the GBP CHF. No feedback on that, but we know ourselves from the company that is GBP CHF. A bit late to chase now. By the time we've given the yes, probably a bit late to chase, but it's already in profit. Okay, so that's not a bad start till Monday morning. A lot better than I expected. Again, commentator skirts. Look, Monday morning, thin trading, load shedding. Oh no. And we've got out 4 trades. That's pretty damn good going. And the other ones are all good. And the only one that's gone wrong the last few trading days has actually been this one here. So if this comes right, we'll get that back as well. What a pleasure. Well, to keep up most trading mentors, probably might take a month or 2. With me, it'll take probably decades. Yeah, I think, yeah, probably decades. And that is no exaggeration. On a serious note, I don't know if Myers is here. Finding, I won't count him, he's been trading a couple of years, but newer guys been trading a month or so. I'd make it maybe 6 weeks to 2 months. Can pretty see a chart pretty quickly, almost even Steven, because they're coming regularly, obviously using the methods I use. You know what I'm saying? but I found that depends how many times they come into the room. Probably within a couple of months, they're sort of, hang on a minute, I've sort of got the hang of it. Not a 4-year job, don't worry. No, too late, fine. But at least, Eugene, because you've been around this for a while now, you're seeing a bit of the potential of coming and taking the time and trouble to join us here. Because percentage-wise, the guys who come to the TR is minute compared to the kind of client space we have. And I don't see the kind of mistakes made for guys who attend here. We see an avalanche of them, of controllable ones, not because the trade goes the wrong way, can't do about that. An avalanche of them for stuff that should have been ironed out to bother to come here. Things that not that difficult to overcome if you get a bit of guidance, sort of thing. Yeah, it's a good point. Keep S&P up. I wouldn't chase it now, Farney. Yeah, just go to the portal. That's a good point. But go to the portal and then you go down the menu. You'll see social media. Click on the YouTube. It's recorded there. Yeah, but see, the trouble is, all these ladies, I don't know if viewers are a lady or a guy. If it's a guy, forget it. So it's a lady running after me on YouTube. That's no good to me. No. I think, ladies only, I'm going to give you my address. I'm just joking, guys. Oh, by the way, on the serious note, yeah. Those who are not member of the WhatsApp group, who have 2,500 Rand or more in their account, because below that, you don't have enough money to cope with the signals, to be quite honest. It's cost free. We need 2.5 grand minimum bounce, preferably more. Can notify me to become a member of my WhatsApp group where I post daily updates and signals. And anybody on here who is already there, I think most of them seem to find it quite useful, but I'll put it down anyway. If you do have that kind of money, or you want to get all that money, notify me, but please don't say, I'd like to be a member of your group. Then it takes time to say, yeah, but who the hell are you? You know what I mean? So put, say, this is John Smith, real account number 165721. I've got 2.5 grand at my account. I'd like to be a member of your group, or I'm going to be putting in early next week or the end of the month. Keep notifying me, keep my number, and then I'll notify you when I've done it. In other words, be forthcoming in your information. It takes time to drag it out. On support 061 529 3431. And if you're Liz Hurley lookalike, you don't have to have any money at all. You can be a member automatically anyway. Just joking. Okay, yeah, I take your point because it's now in the sell zone. Was in the, you can see, was in this area, now neutral, then now in the sell zone. That gives a good chance of some downside. I'm a bit nervous to chase it now, even though it technically looks like a sell for short now. Guys in it smiling all the way for the 3.8 TP. Just a bit nervous. I'm just a bit nervous. Maybe see how it opens. Maybe have a better idea later on this afternoon. And there's a bit of dollar as well, a bit of dollar weakness creeping in. And we'll see the yields. The yields, a bit iffy on the yields. It might get a little bit of bounce before the next move down. So maybe get a better price. But we do risk missing it. Okay.
Hi, Raj. Yes, I was thinking of entering about the 4,000 level because I also suspect it's going to have a bounce upwards.
I don't know whether we should or shouldn't. I'm not sure about that. We get the 4,000. I think we'd be lucky to get there, to be honest. This stage again, unless some fantastic news comes out there, I can't see that happening. I think you're probably going to be getting around about these levels here for another sell down. This might even hold, for all I know. It's not out of the question to sell it now. I'm just not that keen on it. But I think it might get a. I don't know, but I think you've been pushing your luck to 4,000. We'll see. I think just basically stand aside on that one for the moment and see if we get some more direction later on.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I think we still could get a bit of a bounce in the dollar. Okay, right, we've got 20 minutes to go. We've got a few trades out. We asked about pivot points earlier on. Anyone want to show where we get pivot points from? Few people want, I can put it up there to support resistance. In a few moments to just discuss that. Okay, anyone else? Okay, we'll put it up. If you don't like it, say so. If you see a trade, tell me. Just going to stop the share for a moment. What should we use? We'll use, use the dollar index. There we are. Now, can you see the dollar index? I've shared it with you. I just need confirmation you can see it. Just getting these two things out of the way. Can you see the dollar index? Okay. Good. Right. Pivot points. That's right. What you do is, it doesn't matter any instrument you put in search the website. It could be the euro, dollar, it could be gold, whatever it is. You put it in the search the website, the one that you want. Once you've done that, obviously you click on the search button. It comes up. Let's use this one. You see on here, I've got this chart here. That's fair enough, no problem at all. I just want to keep my own. I can put a daily. I've got hourly, as you know. Just go to technical analysis, right? You all got that? Pen and paper handy? Just pick that one. Don't forget, search the website, the one you want. I'm using this as an example. Why not? Technical analysis. Click on it. Let's wait for the information to come through. Now, what it does there, before we get to pivot points, it gives you, it's a sell of the dollar at the moment, because on the hourly, it indicates it moved down. So that's obvious. Put on the daily, give it slightly different. It's still saying a strong sell at the moment. Why is it saying a strong sell? Because all these indicators are being programmed into it. RSI, stochastic, different elements of stochastic, MACDs, average daily range, win percentage, channel, consolidated channel indicator, average true range, blah, blah, blah. You get it. And the different moving averages on the simple and exponential, those are the ones they use, bang it all in, and it's 12 sell, blah, blah, blah. So there we are. What a pleasure. Well, is it? No, they're all indicators. All they're doing is they're telling you what you see with the candle on the chart. If you look at the chart of the dollar index, it's clearly come off a bit. So clearly all those indicators, because they lag and follow the price action, will tell that. So it's limited the amount of time I spend on that. If you want a slightly longer term, you might want the weekly, might give you, it's also a strong sell, okay. How long that'll last depends more on fundamentals than lagging indicators. But we're not talking about that, so don't get carried away. So I want to point it out, carried away, it's a strong sell, you jump in. Heat maps, that sort of thing, are limited in their use. Help to pick one and check it out. Certainly don't, on that alone, go and jump in on it. No, it's lagging. It's not that easy. If it was, well, we wouldn't be buying courses on it. That does it for you, free of charge. You know what I mean? It's got to be a catch. Right. You can pick the Fibonacci. I don't know why, but pick the classic. Okay, it's up to you. S1, S2, S3, clearly support 1, 2, 3, resistance, a pivot point there. So if you look at the dollar index, which is what at the moment is 104.3, 104.3, that ain't working because it's below the support there. It's below the support there. Are we on the daily? Make sure you're on the daily. Yeah, we are. 104.3. So it's below all of them at the moment. So it's not working. So you're going to have to go to the weekly, which is not a very good example, actually. But you've got to check where the price is at the moment. Maybe you can find a better one on the weekly. Yeah, you can on the weekly. 104.3 is close to the support there, and it's obviously below there, so you can use this one here. But if you got this where the price action is at the moment on the daily, it's below support 3, so you can't take a lot of notes on unless you find another one. But it's basically as a short-term support resistance worked out for you due to a pivot point, which is worked out mathematically from the previous close of the candle. That's where your pivot point comes in. So there you are. So if you want to say, I prefer doing my ruling on the chart, but if you want that, you can always use that as another support and resistance if you want. Okay, simple as that. Any questions? Pretty much common sense. Any questions? Or common sense we're doing every bloody day. To be fair, Roger, might make common sense to everyone else. Can everyone see that? Any questions on that? I don't use TradingView. Use this good enough, so I can't make that comment. But I'd say if it's a pivot point, should be more or less the same, depending on what scale of candle they're using. But certainly the indicators should be the same on heat maps and things like that, because it's used the same information. Well, it's a pivot point, support, and resistance. Maybe use another one. Let's do the GBP CHF. Let's do the US dollar Japanese. We're in that one, okay? USD JPY. Give it a moment for it to come through. Now what? Now what? Ah, here we go. Coming through now. Right, the price is at 136.04. Hey, it's doing okay. Our trade's doing okay. Right, ignore the hourly, go to the daily. Right, you look at the pivot points here, 136.04. So it's just a bit below this guy here. So it's 136.07. So that would now be resistance 1, and that be support 1, because it's not, it's common sense, it's between the two. So you look where the price is now. So you can't use that anymore because it broke below it. So the price at the moment on the daily, it's a short-term support resistance, is 135.55, which is pretty damn close. You can't use that as a TP. Clearly, it's 7 pips away. So you'd have to use maybe that one. So that would be your resistance 1, and that'd be your support 1, because it's just below that, a couple of pips below it. Just interpolate between the two. Anybody not see that? I'm not sure what you mean with retracement on the chart. Retracement on the chart, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not clear what you're actually trying to ask on that one. Retracement is where, can I move on from this? Have you all got the pivot point, how to get it now? Go to investing.com on the American flag, search the website there, the one you want, hit on technical, and then make sure you're looking at the pivot points that you want. Maybe use the classic, make sure it's on the daily, and clearly if it's below the S1 or above the R1, you've got to use the R1, R2. You get the idea. Can I move on? Okay, just going to stop the share. So we'll make a note of that and keep it going forward. That's right. Okay, where we're on. Oh yeah, this retracement. See if I find an example there. Let's go back to dollar yen then. Okay, let's have a look at that. We want to buy it. Let's pop back down again. Maybe a different price. Okay. Let's say the price of this, we want to buy it, right? And the price is in, it's coming back. You might not want to buy it there. You want to buy the retracement. Retracement to where? The next support area, as it turns out, it's a 200 moving average, which coincides with a couple of others as well. I like to have more than one. In other words, one ain't going to cut it. If you can get the 200 and you also got a bit of support there, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's going to cut it to that sort of area here. So if it came back to this sort of level here, retrace to that level, I'll buy it. Let's say conversely, you want to sell this and it's here, moves up to there, we want to sell it there. So we wait till it gets there, then wait in case it breaks through, but it's not breaking through, it's coming off. Watch the crosshair. And then you sell it down, you enter there, stop up here somewhere, TP wherever down there. In other words, you selling the rally or you're buying the retracement. So you know you want to buy it or sell it, but you want to get the better price. That's why I don't like watching too many of these technology indicators, because they're saying sell now, but it might be an area you'd be taking profit. You think it's selling, it's very strong sell signal coming down these levels here. All of them are going to say very, 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 very strong sell. Clearly, look at the price action down. You're thinking, the dollar's looking stronger again. The yen is looking a bit oversold, overbought. You're looking maybe we get a bit of a buy coming in here. You wait for the retracement to buy it and take it further up. The pivot point just really there to work out shorter term support resistance. With a bit of practice, you can do it yourself. I don't use them much, to be honest. I'm just saying it makes life a bit easy for you, just to have them there written down for you. I prefer to look that high as aiming at that sort of level there. If I can't get a TP on it, I might have to put the TP higher. Now I'm a bit nervous. You see my point? But this is an okay TP. So I can use that as my TP, stop down here and aim up there. That's the idea behind it. I thought, no, I've used a couple of times trading view, not much lately. I don't know. I'm happy with what I got. You know, it's not broke, so I change it. So my heat map I hardly ever use on live chats, but keep it handy. Some people like it. They want me to copy and paste to give it to them, but I'm always reluctant to give it to them if they're totally reliant on jumping on a heat map. Oh, there we are. That looks all right. I'm going to jump in. No, that's just an indicator of the movements. Sometimes that strong sell might be down here. That's all indicators. All the heat map's going to say. Very strong yen, very weak dollar. Well, if you go to the technicals I've just shown you there, and you'll all say, all the EMAs and all the others will say strong sell. But I'll be selling it, I'm going to buy it. You get the idea. No, I use the candles. And I get a bit of knowledge as well as the fundamentals. If let's say the dollar was right down here and started to move up and strengthen. There's 102 on the DXY, start to strengthen. Talk now coming in, a more increased interest rates start to strengthen. The price of oil was going up. I would say the dollar looking stronger now, a bit oversold. Maybe it's time to start buyers coming in, a bit of profit taking on the dollar. Short, I think the Japanese is overbought. I think profit taking on the buyers, sellers will come in. On the fundamental basis, then I look at the charts and say, yeah, it's come down that much at the moment. It's getting the yen's getting overvalued, the dollar's getting undervalued, giving us a chance to go in on it. A little bit of knowledge of fundamentals, very economic cap in there, and you get a feeling of stronger currencies, the middle ones, the weaker ones, which can chop and change. Euro is quite a weak one, but now it's strengthened because of fundamental hawkish stances. You get the idea. We know Swiss is pretty stable. We know the pound is very much a maverick iffy, but slightly on the weak side. The yen has been a little bit stronger lately, but overall, unless they can get a hawkish stance going, as discussed every week, that's what you update on. Can't pick all that fundamental up at once. That does take a bit of time. I'll be honest. Guys doing this a month or two on the technicals, getting ideas, fine. But that sort of thing does take a bit more time, to be honest. Unless you're at a trading room, you can feed off the trader on that basis. As you're picking it up, pick up on our experience that way. Now, trouble with Eurozar is the cost of getting involved. You guys go to the Eurozar, sure what I mean. Remember, it's not traded like the dollars are either. So it's more thinner traded, so it should have higher costs. Right, left click on the choice, right click, don't forget, left click on specification. And it's a 19 pip spread. I thought it was more than that. Still quite a lot. And it's not as, it's okay, but it's not as, as traded as the dollars are. So I would think rather stick to that. But if you're happy with the Eurozar, you're experiencing it and it's done okay for you, no, it's not broke, don't fix it, same story. But if you haven't done the ZAR before and you want to do it, you've got to bear in mind the higher costs. It's exotic, it's not a cross or a major currency. and the costs are higher as a result. But it's, yeah, there you are, it's 19 pips, just got to bear that in mind. And don't forget, the margin is a bit higher. So it doesn't matter if you've got a 10, 20, 30, 40,000 upwards account. But if you've got a small account, it's about 650 a micro on the RAND basis. So you might say I could just squeeze it in, but then I can't do any other trades because all my margin's taken up on the dollar ZAR or euro ZAR or whatever. I don't know. Keep meaning to ask. I keep forgetting. Hope nobody notices and asks me that. Every time I see it, I think I must ask, and every time I forget. So clearly it hasn't affected me in the slightest. So it can't be that incredibly important, but I keep forgetting to ask. So you did sit on the directly to me, not everyone. I put my hand on it, I forgot to ask. I'll try and remember, ask the next session we have. Probably a simple answer. It hasn't affected me. Let's write it down. And then one thing, if you really want to pick me up, a lot of the little details on the platform on the software side, I'm not as jacked as Clinton or Ashley was here, the youngsters. I'm more, yeah, the car gets me to be, I know how to drive the damn thing. Into Chris's underbonnet, I'm not that jacked up on. I'm on the trading side, but not on the software side on the platform, to be honest. So like Jethro's left now, pointing something out to me the other day. Okay, so I've got what I can. That's about it. Yes, there is. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I still think we've got a 4 on Wednesday. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but until we hear different, we've got a 4 o'clock on Wednesday, and that's it. We're not closing because the markets are open. So anyone wants to field a comment when the market during the day, not after 5, please. We can do, and some will be manning the live chat, except for the holiday period, obviously. Okay, well, I'll try and bring it up. I'm not sure, but I've been doing this for a while on this platform, and it hasn't got my way yet, so I'm not sure how vitally important it is. But it goes through a couple of things, if you like. I'll do a GBP CHF. We've got that open. Is it coming right, by the way? 47, slightly in profit, not much. We'll have a look anyway. GBP CHF, where's it here? Right, that, do you know you how to get your leverage? Divide your margin to 100, gets your leverage. Contract size, like all currencies, 100,000 of the base currency for one standard lot. Obviously, 10,000 for a mini and 1,000 lot size for a micro. You put your deposit down, so margin means. Good till cancelled, market execution, fill or kill, expiration, all, forever, minimum volume, maximum. So you can't go bigger than that, 5. Swap fees. Hey, that's a bit cheap. Makes no sense at all. That can't be right. Anyway, whatever. It's swap fees right about 6.5% to 7% a year. Don't even worry about it because it's not daily. The amounts are so small, it's virtually irrelevant. But yeah, when it says good till cancelled, anyone not know what that means? Okay, knowledge, good stuff. See you then. Anyone not, if you do know, you don't know. All that means is if you're going to pending order, if it's a day, daily, it means the close of the play today, which is midnight on this one or 11:30 on the shares. It means that the pending order will be withdrawn. If it's a good till cancel, it'll sit there until it's either filled. Remember, if the order's taken up, the correct term is filled. Until your order is either filled or you cancel it. If you don't, then it'll sit there until either it is filled or you cancel it. That's a pending order. Obviously, the market's irrelevant. You're in the market order forever, unless you exit or hit your TP or stop loss, or you run out of funds because your margin called or something stupid like that. But yeah, so that's just applicable to a pending order, whether you go in. So if I want to do a pending order, I put daily. But the only problem with that is you've got to put it in again the next day if you want to keep it. The GDC will sit there till you remove it or it's filled. Only downside with that, you might forget it's there, go on holiday, and it's doing just nicely, and then it comes flying off with it so long, hits you, you come back, in a buy, and the thing's right down here, and you're not happy chappy. Okay, so if you find the ship sailed, you're not happy with it anymore, whatever, just delete it. clearly there's no cost involved. It's a forward order, it's a pending order. You're not in the market. Just means you're trying to get a better price. That's a pending order. I hope that's all clear. If not, we'll go over it again. Fill or kill doesn't apply to you. It just means for very, very much bigger players with very, very large accounts, sometimes there is not enough product for them to buy the whole position at once. Example, I want to buy 100,000 shares of Apple. Well, there might not be 100,000 shares available to be sold at that price. So then you'd have a partial fill. So let's say 40,000 available at that. Price comes in, another 30 available, so I'm in 70. Then another price movement, and I'm in my entire amount that I wanted to buy or sell. This means if you're not in the market, then you're not in. It's not either half in, half out. You're either entire amounts in or out. It's completely irrelevant as far as you're concerned. There's no disrespect. The account size is so small compared to international that the volatility or liquidity, liquidity, the volume to trade are large enough for you to be filled entirely on your request. So that's the fill or kill means. But so don't worry about fill or kill. I'm more worried about some people put in a place to trade and wonder why they haven't made a profit. Well, you're not in the market. Well, they can't find the GDC on a market order, which is irrelevant on the market order. You're in the market. It's just a good till cancel, the pending order, which you'll personally cancel. If you put the choice of daily, then clearly it'll be removed at the close of play that day. And then if you want to go in again, then you have to replace it again. The problem with that is it might come back, and then in 1 o'clock in the morning, it would have filled you, missed you, and gone up because the pending order been removed. Any of that not understood? Because I know a lot of guys going in placing pending orders and not wonder why they're not in the market. Clearly, haven't got the hack of what it's about. Okay. And don't forget, when you read the signal, it just gives you a price or better. If it's a better price, go for it. Clearly, obviously, give you a better price. That's if it's a higher price than on short, it's a better price. A lower price on the long than the market signal, it's a better price if you like it. If it's a worse price, you've got to make that decision. Has the ship sailed or not? You've got to make that decision, and you've got to be able to do the maths accordingly to work out the slightly different and the risk that has been put on the signal. If I say it's 100 Rand to micro, it's that specific price. If you're getting a better price, it might be 90 Rand a micro. If it's a worse price, it might be 110 Rand. You've got to adjust it slightly. Okay. Hawkish means that you're going to, normally to do with interest rates, you're hawkish about inflation, which means you want to decrease the money supply by increasing interest rates to stem the rate of inflation. Because you're making it more difficult for people to buy stuff by higher interest rates. So it costs them more on their debt. If you're dovish, that means you're going to pull back the interest rates or even start lowering them, etc. Okay. And remember, if you think your inflation's a bit too high in your country, it's getting out of hand, then you want to increase interest rates hawkish, which will weaken the markets in that country. It's America will weaken the markets overall, but it will strengthen the currency. That's why I say the Japanese, because their debt problem, are battling to see ways round without increasing interest rates, will increase their own repayment, their debt. So they were looking at other ways instead of going the hawkish route, so sticking to dovish. They're now talking that battling to make that work. So they might have to go hawkish by increasing interest rates, which is some of the lowest in the world, and that's going to come back and bite them because they've got to pay a higher interest on their massive debt. But if they don't do something about it and the debt continues to rise through inflation, it's going to get out of hand anyway, so they've got to make that call. It's past 11 o'clock. Okay, hope that makes sense, Pete. We can go into it further later on the 4 o'clock this afternoon. Got to go. I've got stuff to do, like I'm sure all you guys have. Great having you. And yeah, see you later. Hope it's been a benefit as always. You've learned stuff, and to see if these trades come right. And we'll have a look at it later on, including the US markets. Because don't forget, they're opening 4:30. Cheers now, and grab you guys later. Pardon the expression, that is. Don't panic. Cheers.